So, what happens when a man's own vanity comes face to face with a deadly cobra? We're about to dive into a fascinating short story called The Snake and the Mirror. It's this wild tale that's somehow both hilarious and absolutely terrifying, all about a close call, a little self-admiration, and a twist of fate you will not see coming.
The story literally kicks off with this question right from our narrator, a homeopath doctor. I mean, come on, a line like that just grabs you, right? You just know whatever's coming next is gonna be intense.
All right, so where does this all begin? Not in some dramatic chase, but on a quiet, really hot summer night. Let's set the scene and meet our narrator, a young doctor, in his very, well, let's just say humble home.
Picture this. It's about 10 o'clock at night. The air is sticky and hot. Our doctor is just sitting in his small, rented room lit by nothing more than a flickering kerosene lamp. It's a pretty lonely scene, except he does have some roommates, the four-legged, furry kind.
Yeah, you start to get a real sense of this guy's life pretty fast. His medical practice is just getting started, so his earnings are, meager. He's got about 60 rupees, a couple of shirts, and one single black coat. And his roommates, a whole family of rats that make what he calls regular traffic up in the rafters. So, yeah, not exactly a life of luxury.
The heat is just awful. He can't sleep. So he gets up, paces around a bit, and finally just plops down in a chair at his table. And right there on that table, next to his medical book, is the one object that's about to become the silent, central character of this whole story, a large mirror. And this is where the story's focus totally shifts. Suddenly, the tension isn't about the rats or the heat anymore. Nope. It's all about a young man, all alone with his own reflection, getting just a little bit lost in some pretty comical self-admiration. As he puts it, he was unmarried, he was a doctor, and he felt he really had to make his presence felt. And that just perfectly sums up his mindset, right? He's young, he's just starting out, and he's kind of preoccupied with how the world sees him. So, he's looking at himself in the mirror, and he starts making what he jokingly calls earth-shaking decisions. And what are they? Well, first, he's going to shave every day and grow a thin mustache. And second, he's going to always keep an attractive smile on his face. You can just feel that youthful vanity, can't you? It's honestly so relatable and fun.
But he doesn't stop there. His train of thought keeps going, and he decides, you know what, I should get married. But not to just anyone. His perfect wife has to be a woman doctor with a good practice and, of course, tons of money. And for a very specific, valid reason, she has to be fat. Why? So that if he ever made a silly mistake and had to run for it, she wouldn't be able to run fast enough to catch him.
So there he is, just lost in these funny daydreams about his handsome new mustache and his slow-running future wife. And then, in an instant, everything changes. That lighthearted, funny tone just vanishes. He hears a noise. It's not the usual sound of rats scampering around. It's a dull thud, like a rubber tube just fell to the ground. He turns to look. In the exact same moment he turns his head, a fat snake lands right on his shoulder and starts coiling around his left arm. There's no time to do anything. He's completely frozen, just paralyzed by pure terror. He becomes, in his own words, a stone image in the flesh.
The cobra's hood is spread wide, and its head is just 4 inches from his face. 4 inches. He can't move. He can barely breathe. Death is literally staring him right in the eyes.
The snake tightens its grip. He says the pain is this powerful, crushing force, almost like his arm is being squeezed by a rod made of molten fire. He knows any movement, even a tiny one, could be a fatal strike. He is completely and utterly helpless.
So, in this moment of just absolute despair, something totally unbelievable happens. The tension is about to break, but in a way you could never, ever predict. His savior isn't a person, it's not a weapon, it's that mirror sitting on the table.
In his terror, the doctor actually manages a faint little smile at his own foolishness, and right then, the snake turns its head. Something else has captured its attention. What could it possibly be?
It saw itself. The cobra, this terrifying agent of death, becomes completely mesmerized by its own reflection in that big mirror on the table. Unbelievable, right? Just like the doctor was moments before, the snake is now the one admiring the image in the glass.
And this is the absolute genius of the story. The doctor wonders if the snake is also admiring its own beauty or maybe, just maybe, making its own important decisions. The exact same vanity that had him in a trance a few minutes ago has now shown up in this snake.
and it has become his salvation. Slowly, the snake starts to unwind itself from his arm. It slithers onto the table and moves closer to the mirror, like it wants a better look. This is his chance. Holding his breath, the doctor, who is definitely no longer a stone image, gets up, slips out the door, and just runs for his life.
So he escapes to a friend's house. The immediate danger is over. But oh, the story is not finished yet. The aftermath is just as strange and ironic as the encounter itself.
Later on, his friends ask him if he ever ended up marrying that fat woman he dreamed of, and he just laughs. Turns out, life had other plans. His wife is a thin, reedy person with what he calls the gift of a sprinter, the total opposite of what he wanted for his little escape plan.
The next morning, he goes back to his room with some friends to grab his stuff. But when he gets there, he finds the room has been completely cleaned out. While he was running for his life from a cobra, a thief decided to take advantage and stole pretty much everything he owned.
I mean, the thief took his money, his clothes, every single thing of value, except for one item. The doctor says the thief left his dirty vest behind as a final insult. Apparently, the robber had such a sense of cleanliness. It's just a perfect, absurd punchline to an absolutely terrifying night.
And that's where the story leaves us. So, what do you think? Was the doctor saved by some miracle? Was it just dumb luck? Or was it something way more poetic? The idea that vanity, this very human trait we all have, can show up in the strangest of places and change everything.